Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga with Heini. I'm Heini, and today we're going to talk about 5 principles that we could use for breathing exercises to calm us down. Let's talk about that. Principle number 1 is to slow down the pace of our breathing. For an adult, a normal breathing rate when we just do our normal everyday life stuff is about 12 to 20 breaths per minute. But when we do kind of slow breathing exercises to calm down, we want to slow down that pace to about 4 to 7 breaths per minute. So it's quite a big change. And on average, for an adult, that pace is around 5 or 6 breaths per minute. That's usually the easiest for most people, but it could vary from 4 breaths per minute to 7 breaths per minute. About that pace is different for everyone. So we are all different in our breathing and what feels good. But that's the average breathing rate when we talk about slow breathing, these breathing exercises to calm down. Second is rhythm. So when we do these breathing exercises, rhythm is very important factor to have some kind of rhythm in our breathing. Because we could do slow breathing, but we could do kind of very unrhythmic patterns. So we might do quite kind of irregular breathing, or even though the pace would be slow. But when we want to calm down our system, we want to find a steady rhythm, just for a moment, maybe for a few minutes, maybe for 5-10 minutes. But we want to establish a calm rhythm. Now, there are different ways to find that rhythm. Some people like to have a bit shorter inhalation and then longer exhalation. For example, breathing in 4 seconds, breathing out 6 seconds. That works for many people. For some people, it feels more natural to have equal inhalations and exhalations. So maybe they use the same pace, same breathing rate, but they inhale 5 seconds, exhale 5 seconds. And that might feel better, more natural for them. And then some people like to leave a little pause at the end of the exhalation. Some people call it a resting phase in our breathing cycle. So maybe they use the same pace, same breathing rate, and they might be inhaling 4 seconds, exhaling 5 seconds, and then a 1 second pause, kind of holding the breath almost at the end of the exhalation before they go back to breathing in. And there's no right or wrong there. And if we look at research, what research says about this, there's no one opinion what's best for us. So find what works best for you and what feels most natural to you, but find a rhythm. And then third principle that I introduced today is smoothness. So having a smooth breath cycle. So again, we're not kind of gasping air, then holding the breath, and then huffing and puffing the air out. But there's a smooth, like a smooth wave, breathing in, breathing out. Smoothness in that breath cycle. Even if there is a bit of breath holding within that cycle, it's still, everything's done smoothly. And I often encourage people to notice that moment at the end of the inhalation before they start the exhalation. How could we make that transition from inhalation to exhalation smooth? And then how could we make that transition from exhalation to inhalation smooth? So also observing those transitions and making them smooth. Then number 4, we have ease. So when we do our slow rhythmic breathing exercises, we want it to be easy. We want it to feel easy. If we start to feel breathless when we're doing our breathing exercise, it might mean that we are using a too slow breathing rate, or maybe we are holding the breath at some point because we want to follow a really slow breathing pattern. And I suggest then to change something. Maybe we need to speed up the breathing rate a bit. Maybe the pattern is not quite right. So always make sure that it's easy. You feel at ease when you're doing your breathing exercises. And then number 5 is not to breathe too deeply. I know we are often told to take a deep breath, take a few deep breaths. But what might happen is we are kind of gasping air and blowing all the air out, almost hyperventilating. But when we do our breathing exercises, we don't want to breathe too deeply so that we don't start to hyperventilate. So having that slow, calm pace and calm, easy rhythm are much more important than breathing deeply. So breathing deeply here, I must clarify, I mean that taking a big breath in and sending a big breath out. So that's not something we need to do. Sometimes our breathing might be actually quite shallow, but we're still doing our slow, calm breathing. So intention is not to take in as much air as possible and breathe out as much air as possible. That's not really the goal. So make it easy for yourself. Check that you're not hyperventilating. If you start to feel dizzy, or nauseous, that's often a cue that you are breathing maybe too deeply. So if you start to feel dizzy, take a step back, maybe pause your breathing exercise for a moment, and then let yourself breathe a bit more shallow, so that you feel you can keep breathing without getting dizzy, without getting nauseous. So those are the 5 principles to take into consideration. The pace, so slowing down the pace, slowing down your breathing rate. Rhythm, find a rhythm and try to maintain that steady rhythm. And that rhythm is different for all of us. So let yourself try different kinds of rhythm, and find the one that works best for you. Then we had smoothness, so keep your breath cycle smooth, and ease. Make sure you feel at ease when you're doing your breathing exercises. We don't want to force the breath. And then last, don't breathe too deeply. So if you find yourself feeling dizzy, if you start to hyperventilate, then you're breathing too deeply. Then take a step back and let yourself breathe in a more natural, maybe a bit more shallow way. Those are the 5 principles I'm introducing you to today. And then later on in further videos, I'll take you through some breathing exercises. I'll give you some practice that follow these 5 principles. And as always, if you have any questions, if you have any comments about this, let me know. You can leave a comment below or send me messages, and I'm super, super happy to chat more. I'm always happy and excited to talk about breathing. Great. That's all from me today, and I'll see you again on the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching. I hope you found that useful. If you did, click subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll be notified of any new videos. I'll be posting lots more yoga related videos on this channel. I also teach online yoga classes, and if you're interested in those, you'll find more information in the description box below and on my website. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.